It was horrible. I couldn't believe it. But why should you go too?
Didn't you hear my promise that I would follow him?
In the early 1930s, preparations were underway for a grand spectacle, Cecil B. DeMille's epic film, The Sign of the Cross. Securing the right cast members would be crucial to bring this tale of ancient Rome to life. For the lead role of Marcus Superbus, DeMille sought a commanding presence. Enter Fredric March, a rising star who had already impressed audiences with his versatility. His recent success in Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde convinced DeMille that he was perfect for the part. Meanwhile, Claudette Colbert, known for her sophistication and elegance, captured DeMille's attention during screen tests. She seemed destined for the role of Empress Poppaea, despite initial reluctance due to her lack of familiarity with historical dramas. To play the Christian convert Mercia, Charles Laughton was handpicked by DeMille himself after watching his performance in Payment Deferred. Although initially hesitant because of his physical appearance, Laughton eventually embraced the challenge and delivered a memorable portrayal. One unforgettable character in the movie is Tigellinus, played by Sir Guy Standing. Having worked together before, DeMille trusted him completely to bring depth and complexity to this villainous prefect. As for Ancaria, the slave girl, Joyzelle Joyner proved to have undeniable chemistry with both March and Laughton during auditions. This, coupled with her unique dance skills, sealed her spot in the film. Notably, veteran stage actress Helen Menken joined the ensemble as the devout Fulvia, lending credibility and maturity to the diverse group of actors. Through meticulous auditions, chemistry tests, and trust in proven talents, DeMille assembled a remarkable cast for The Sign of the Cross, creating a timeless piece of cinema still admired today. The Sign of the Cross, a 1932 movie directed by Cecil B. DeMille, is a remarkable example of epic storytelling. DeMille was known for his grand-scale productions, and this film was no exception. He used sweeping shots and elaborate sets to bring the story to life. The movie is set in ancient Rome and follows the story of a Christian woman, Mercia, who faces persecution from the Roman Emperor, Nero. DeMille was influenced by the historical accounts of Nero's reign and the early Christian church. He aimed to create a film that was not only entertaining, but also educational. DeMille's directorial vision was to create a world that was both authentic and dramatic. He worked closely with the cast and crew to ensure that every detail was accurate. The costumes, for example, were based on historical research, and the set designs were inspired by the architecture of ancient Rome. The film's star, Fredric March, who played Nero, was also deeply involved in the creative process. He worked closely with DeMille to develop his character, and even suggested changes to the script. This collaborative approach resulted in a more nuanced and believable performance. DeMille's use of spectacle and drama was a hallmark of his style. He was a master of creating tension and releasing it in dramatic moments. The film's famous chariot race scene is a prime example of this. It was a complex and dangerous sequence to film, but DeMille's attention to detail and commitment to authenticity paid off. In addition to its visual spectacle, The Sign of the Cross also features powerful performances from its cast. Claudette Colbert, who played Mercia, delivers a heart-wrenching performance that is still remembered today. Overall, DeMille's directorial vision for The Sign of the Cross was to create a film that was both entertaining and educational. He achieved this through his meticulous attention to detail, his collaborative approach to filmmaking, and his commitment to authenticity. The result is a classic film that continues to captivate audiences today.
There?
I hope it may end in one.
I thought it was something of the sort.
Let's talk about the 1932 movie, The Sign of the Cross. This classic film is packed with drama, romance, and history. Did you know that it was directed by Cecil B. DeMille, who was known for his epic productions? There are many fascinating facts about this movie. For instance, did you know that it was one of the most expensive films made at the time, with a budget of over $700,000? And despite the controversy it caused, it was a huge success at the box office, earning over $3 million in its initial release. The movie is set in ancient Rome, and follows the story of a Christian man named Marcus Superbus, played by Fredric March, who falls in love with a Christian woman named Mercia, portrayed by Elissa Landi. However, their love is threatened by the tyrannical Roman Emperor Nero, played by Charles Laughton, who also has his eyes on Mercia. The Sign of the Cross was the first film to feature a Christian theme in a major Hollywood production. However, it was also controversial for its depiction of violence and its portrayal of Christians. In fact, the film was banned in several countries, including Ireland and Austria. When was the first time you watched this movie? Do you have a favorite scene or character? We would love to hear your stories and memories in the comments below. As for me, I remember the first time I watched The Sign of the Cross. I was struck by the grandeur of the sets and the costumes, as well as the powerful performances of the actors. The movie's themes of love, sacrifice, and faith still resonate with me today. So, keep watching this video to learn more funny, shocking, and sad facts about The Sign of the Cross. This classic film is definitely worth a watch, and you might just discover something new and interesting about it.
Well, where's the meeting?
The Grove! The Grove! The Sestian!
In the early 1930s, Hollywood was abuzz with the production of a grand religious epic, The Sign of the Cross. This classic film, directed by Cecil B. DeMille, took audiences back to ancient Rome during the reign of Emperor Nero. The set design for this movie was nothing short of spectacular. To recreate the opulence and decadence of Imperial Rome, DeMille spared no expense. He had massive sets built on the Paramount lot, including a full-scale replica of the Colosseum, which stood over 75 feet tall and cost around $200,000 to construct, quite a fortune in those days. Other elaborate sets included palatial homes, marketplaces, and even a working Roman galley. When it came to location shooting, California's natural landscapes doubled beautifully for scenes set in exotic locales. For instance, the famous Lake Arrowhead area transformed into a lush Mediterranean setting, where protagonists engage in boat races. However, transporting cast and crew to these remote spots presented its own set of logistical challenges due to limited transportation infrastructure at the time. One notable challenge faced during filming involved capturing realistic crowd scenes. To overcome this hurdle, DeMille used thousands of extras dressed up as Romans, Christians, and slaves. Additionally, he pioneered the use of mirrors strategically placed behind cameras to make crowds appear larger than they were. Another groundbreaking technique employed in The Sign of the Cross was the extensive usage of Technicolor. Although two strip color processes existed before, this marked one of the earliest uses of three-strip Technicolor, resulting in richer colors and more vivid images compared to previous films. Despite all the technical advancements, creating this cinematic masterpiece wasn't devoid of controversy. Some criticized the film for historical inaccuracies and perceived vulgarity. Nevertheless, The Sign of the Cross remains a significant milestone in American cinema history, pushing boundaries in terms of scale, spectacle, and visual storytelling.
Get closer! They're louder! Why don't you stop them, Marcus?
The Sign of the Cross, directed by Cecil B. DeMille, takes audiences back to ancient Rome during the reign of Nero. Released in 1932, this epic film features impressive set designs and costumes, immersing viewers in the historical setting. With stars like Fredric March and Claudette Colbert, the acting captures the drama and intensity of life under Nero's rule. Fredric March plays Marcus Superbus, a Roman prefect engaged to Emperor Nero's sister, Mercia. However, their love is threatened when Marcus spares the lives of early Christians, including beautiful convert Meridiana, drawing Nero's suspicion. Meanwhile, Nero, portrayed by Charles Laughton, struggles with his own paranoia while indulging in debauchery, leading to tensions between him and those around him. An intriguing aspect of this classic is its exploration of persecution faced by early Christians amidst widespread paganism. This theme adds depth to the storyline and sheds light on religious conflicts throughout history. Despite being nearly a century old, The Sign of the Cross remains relevant today due to its examination of faith and intolerance. Cecil B. DeMille was known for his meticulous attention to detail, evident in the elaborate sets and period-appropriate props used in The Sign of the Cross. From grand palaces to bustling markets, every scene offers something visually engaging. Moreover, the film's musical score complements the narrative flow seamlessly, enhancing emotional impact and tension. Overall, The Sign of the Cross stands as a testament to quality filmmaking from Hollywood's golden age. Its compelling plot, memorable performances, stunning visuals, and insightful themes make it worth watching even now.
My life means more now than...
I haven't forgotten that.
Suddenly everything changed. I wanted to live.
The Sign of the Cross, a 1932 movie directed by Cecil B. DeMille, is a remarkable example of how music can enhance a film's narrative and emotional tone. The score and soundtrack were primarily the work of composer Rudolph G. Kopp and W. Frank Harling, with some additional music by John Leipold. Rudolf G. Kopp, a seasoned composer known for his work in silent films, skillfully crafted the score to match the film's dramatic scenes. His music underscored the intense emotions, from the passionate love between Marcus Superbus, played by Fredric March, and Mercia, portrayed by Elissa Landi, to the brutal violence of the gladiatorial games and the persecution of early Christians. W. Frank Harling, who had previously worked with DeMille on other projects, contributed to the film's soundtrack with his composition The Bride of Christ, a powerful and moving piece that accompanied the baptism scene. This hymn-like melody added a sense of spirituality and reverence, contrasting with the film's more violent and sensual elements. John Leipold, another composer who frequently collaborated with DeMille, provided additional music for the film. His compositions, like Kopp's and Harling's, were carefully tailored to the movie scenes, further emphasizing the emotional depth and historical context of this classic. In creating the score and soundtrack, these composers and musicians successfully complemented the narrative and emotional tone of The Sign of the Cross. Their music not only heightened the film's dramatic impact, but also provided a richer understanding of the characters' motivations and the world they inhabited. Joe Bonamo, known for his physique, became famous as a bodybuilder and went on to create a line of books and pamphlets about health and physical fitness. On the other hand, Charles Laughton, who played a significant role in The Sign of the Cross, faced criticism in his later years for his perceived habit of overacting, yet he remained a favorite among audiences. Interestingly, Laughton was director Billy Wilder's initial pick to portray the character of Mustache in Irma la Douce, which he agreed to do after receiving a Best Actor Oscar nomination from Wilder in Witness for The Prosecution in 1958. Unfortunately, Laughton passed away before filming began.
Even this girl who parades as innocence and purity.
One of the most iconic scenes in the movie is when Poppaea, played by Claudette Colbert, takes a milk bath while being serenaded by a chorus of slaves. The set design and cinematography stand out, with lush draperies and marble columns surrounding the bathtub. This opulent scene contrasts sharply with the darker themes present throughout the rest of the film. Director Cecil B. DeMille wanted to create a sense of decadence and indulgence, and he certainly succeeded. Colbert's performance here is also worth noting. She exudes confidence and sensuality, basking in the adoration of her slaves. Her character represents everything that is corrupt and self-serving about ancient Rome. Yet, despite her flaws, we can't help but be drawn to her charisma and beauty. Another unforgettable moment occurs during the gladiatorial games where a group of Christians, including Mercia, face death in front of a bloodthirsty crowd. As they sing hymns and pray together, their faith remains steadfast even as they confront martyrdom. This powerful scene highlights the stark difference between Christianity and paganism and underscores the brutality of Roman society. Cinematographer Karl Struss used low angles and dramatic lighting to heighten the tension and emphasize the danger faced by the Christian prisoners. Meanwhile, composer Rudolf Kopp's haunting score adds emotional depth to the visuals. DeMille himself spoke about his intentions behind creating this epic spectacle. "I want to give audiences something they've never seen before. A window into another time and place." With its stunning sets, memorable performances, and thought-provoking themes, the movie accomplishes just that. Claudette Colbert, known for her role in The Sign of the Cross, holds a significant place in Hollywood's history. She is one of 13 French actresses ever to receive an Academy Award nomination. Following her success, she became one of 14 Best Actress Oscar winners who did not accept their awards in person, her statue being for It Happened One Night in 1934. Meanwhile, Colbert isn't the only notable figure associated with The Sign of the Cross. Her co-star, Charles Laughton, had a remarkable career beyond acting in films. For several years, he captivated audiences with his one-man reading shows, covering material from religious texts like the Bible to modern literature such as Jack Kerouac's The Dharma Bums. His diverse choices mirrored his multi-talented persona, reaching far beyond cinema alone.
I'm glad you came. That you cared enough to come.
Released in 1932, The Sign of the Cross left a lasting impression on its audience. This Cecil B. DeMille epic transported viewers back to ancient Rome during the reign of Nero. The film's grandeur was evident through elaborate sets, extravagant costumes, and a star-studded cast, including Fredric March, Claudette Colbert, and Charles Laughton. Interestingly, the movie sparked controversy due to its depiction of Christian persecution under Nero's rule, leading some religious groups to protest against it. Despite this opposition, or perhaps because of it, the picture drew large crowds and generated significant box office revenue. On another note, the Sign of the Cross had notable influences on popular culture. For instance, certain scenes became iconic, like the milk bath scene featuring Claudette Colbert, which has been referenced numerous times in other films and media. Moreover, elements from this classic have inspired several subsequent biblical epics, setting a precedent for cinematic storytelling in this genre. Furthermore, beyond entertainment, the movie contributed to societal conversations around faith and morality. By dramatizing historical events related to early Christianity, it subtly invited reflection upon contemporary attitudes towards religion. However, one must remember that this reflection occurs through a Hollywood lens shaped by artistic liberties taken for dramatic effect, rather than strict adherence to factual accounts. Nonetheless, these interpretations can offer intriguing insights into prevailing perspectives during the time of the film's production. The Sign of the Cross, a 1932 movie, featured prominent actors whose work resonated in different ways. Claudette Colbert, despite not having an official Italian voice, was brought to life by various talented Italian dubbers, contributing to her diverse on-screen presence. Fredric March, who later received recognition from Turner Classic Movies, played a significant role in the film's narrative. Charles Laughton's portrayal of King Henry VIII won him an Oscar, setting a precedent for future actors like Robert Shaw and Richard Burton, who also grappled with the iconic part. The role of Henry VIII became a milestone in Oscar history, with multiple nominations spanning 3 decades. The movie stands as a testament to the powerful performances and enduring impact of its ensemble, weaving a compelling story that still captivates viewers today.
Forward!
The Sign of the Cross, directed by Cecil B. DeMille, was met with mixed reviews upon its release in 1932. Some critics praised the movie for its grandeur and spectacle, while others criticized it for its excessive violence and religious insensitivity. New York Times reviewer Mordaunt Hohl described the film as an impressive production with some magnificent settings. He commended the performances of the cast, particularly Fredric March's portrayal of Marcus Superbus. However, he also noted that the film contains several scenes which seem to have been introduced solely for their sadistic appeal. On the other hand, Graham Greene, writing for The Spectator, accused the film of being both blasphemous and dull. He argued that the movie trivialized Christianity by depicting it as something to be laughed at and spat on. Despite his criticism, Greene conceded that the film had some redeeming qualities, including fine photography and occasionally good acting. Despite the divided opinions, The Sign of the Cross did receive several award nominations. At the 5th Academy Awards, the film earned nods for Best Picture, Best Art Direction, and Best Assistant Director. Although it ultimately lost out to Cavalcade for Best Picture, the recognition highlighted the technical prowess behind the film's creation. Moreover, the film proved to be a commercial success, grossing over $4 million domestically, quite substantial for the era. This financial triumph ensured that DeMille remained one of Hollywood's most prominent directors throughout the 1930s and beyond. Overall, despite the controversy surrounding The Sign of the Cross, its impact cannot be denied. Its critical reception helped shape public discourse around religion and cinema, while its box office earnings solidified DeMille's status as a leading director. Even today, this classic remains a significant milestone in early talkie history.
Only because we didn't say goodbye?
Perhaps so.
In The Sign of the Cross, both Charles Laughton and Fredric March left lasting impressions. Laughton held high regard for actor Robert Mitchum, considering him one of the best. Meanwhile, March has a theater named in his honor at the University of Wisconsin's Oshkosh campus. On the other hand, Nat Pendleton, who also starred in this classic, gained recognition by appearing in 3 films nominated for Best Picture Oscars, including The Great Ziegfeld, which won in 1936.
You dislike me?
In the early 1930s, the set of Cecil B. DeMille's epic spectacle, The Sign of the Cross, was abuzz with activity. One day, famed actor Fredric March found himself facing an unusual challenge. To prepare for his role as Marcus Superbus, he decided to study bullfighting, hoping it would help him understand the gladiatorial spirit better. However, things took an unexpected turn when a real bull charged towards him during practice. Luckily, March managed to leap over a barrier just in time, escaping unscathed but certainly more cautious. Meanwhile, Claudette Colbert, who played Empress Poppaea, had her own share of excitement while filming the famous milk bath scene. Although sources differ on whether it was actually 600 or 2,800 gallons of water mixed with milk, one thing is certain, it created quite a mess. After each take, they had to drain and refill the pool due to the mixture turning rancid under the hot lights. Despite these inconveniences, Colbert remained professional throughout, even humorously referring to herself as the girl in the Milky Way. Another fascinating tale revolves around the casting of the iconic role of Nero. Initially, Charles Laughton was considered too heavyset for the part. Undeterred, Laughton showed up at the audition having lost considerable weight, thanks to a crash diet consisting mainly of grapefruit. His dedication paid off, landing him the coveted role, which he went on to play to perfection. Lastly, let us not forget the remarkable set designs that brought ancient Rome to life. The colossal sets were so vast that studio executives worried about their cost. But DeMille was confident. He reasoned that if people paid to see exhibitions of historical artifacts, why wouldn't they pay to watch a story unfold amid similarly grand settings? As we know now, his gamble paid off, resulting in a visually stunning masterpiece that continues to captivate audiences today.
In fact, I don't know when I've ever been so thirsty.
Claudette Colbert, known for her role in The Sign of the Cross, received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 1960. Meanwhile, Fredric March, who also starred in the film, made a remarkable comeback in The Iceman Cometh in 1973, after undergoing major surgery for prostate cancer. In The Sign of the Cross, Charles Laughton delivered a memorable performance as the Roman Emperor Nero. Interestingly, Laughton had a familial connection to the role, as his great-uncle and predecessor Claudius was portrayed in I, Claudius. Despite the challenges they faced, these actors' dedication to their craft is evident in their enduring performances in this classic film. Their contributions continue to be cherished by audiences today. The legacy of The Sign of the Cross lives on, leaving a lasting impact on the world of cinema.
Disturb our beloved emperor when he's feeling so badly. If it's the order for the girl...
Released in 1932, The Sign of the Cross left an indelible mark on the film industry. As a pioneering epic, it showcased grandiose sets, intricate costumes, and a powerful narrative that captivated audiences. This classic film, directed by Cecil B. DeMille, was set in ancient Rome, and followed the tale of a Roman tribune who falls for a Christian woman. The movie's influence can be seen in many subsequent films. DeMille's innovative use of spectacle and storytelling set the stage for future epic films such as Ben-Hur and Spartacus. The film's groundbreaking techniques in set design, lighting, and special effects inspired a generation of filmmakers. Moreover, The Sign of the Cross dared to tackle controversial themes, pushing the boundaries of what was considered acceptable in Hollywood at the time. Its unapologetic depiction of religious persecution and faith-based courage resonated with audiences and left a lasting impact on the industry. This classic film also provided a platform for its talented cast, including Fredric March and Claudette Colbert, to showcase their thespian skills. Their performances were impactful, adding depth and nuance to the storyline. In the world of film, The Sign of the Cross stands as a testament to the power of cinematic storytelling. Its legacy continues to inspire filmmakers and captivate audiences, leaving an enduring mark on the industry.
You know, this jug broke when we dropped it.
Good.
In the 1932 film The Sign of the Cross, several actors made notable contributions. Joe Bonamo, known for his physique, authored books on health and fitness, which evolved into a series of practical guides on various subjects like self-confidence, makeup application, and more. Even a drug awareness pamphlet titled, "Don't Be a Dope" emerged from his work. Angela Rossetti, another cast member, holds a unique record as the oldest actor who appeared in Star Trek: The Next Generation in 1987. Meanwhile, veteran character actor Harry Beresford graced audiences with his presence during the 1930s in numerous supporting roles. Each actor brought their own distinctiveness to the screen, enhancing the viewing experience of The Sign of the Cross.
Will you stop for it? Yes.
don't need money.
No, I paid for it. Just tell him. He'll remember.
He'll give it to me. Tibble knows me.
The third film in Cecil B. DeMille's biblical trilogy, following the Ten Commandments and the King of Kings, The Sign of the Cross is a classic in its own right. This movie, released in 1932, showcases the talents of Claudette Colbert, who had previously vowed never to make another film after completing For the Love of Mike in 1927. Colbert's co-star, Charles Jamora, was not only an actor but also an inventor with a number of patents to his name. In the 1950s, he developed inventions for 3D movies and a shower deflector to protect women's hair. The Sign of the Cross is a must-see for any classic film enthusiast. The movie's place in DeMille's biblical trilogy and the talent of its stars make it a valuable contribution to the world of cinema. The film's ability to stand the test of time is a testament to the enduring appeal of well-crafted stories and talented actors.
If we have the simplicity, the faith,
Did you know that The Sign of the Cross was released in 1932? This classic has left a lasting impression on many, including ourselves. We're curious, how did this movie affect you personally? Perhaps it sparked your interest in historical films, or maybe it introduced you to the talented actor Fredric March. We would love to hear about your experiences and memories related to The Sign of the Cross. Whether it brought back old memories or helped shape your perspective on cinema, we want to know. If you feel inclined, please share your thoughts with us by leaving a comment below. Let's engage in meaningful conversations and learn from each other's perspectives. And while you're here, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more exciting cinematic explorations. Together, let's celebrate our shared love for movies.
Not without you. You could teach me to know. Teach me to